What's going on, folks? This is the Amaazen Outdoors podcast. You're listening to episode 35. Today's episode, we catch up with the owner of Upland Outfitters, Jason. We got a couple things to clear up here before I hit the roll button on the episode today. I apologize. I have been off the game here with rolling these things out, editing, time to record, just having the strength and the mental fortitude after getting beat down in the whitetail woods the last few weeks here has been a little bit difficult, so I apologize. I did not kill one with my bow. It was kind of a bummer this season. Hunted more than I would have liked to for the deers. The girls, Rebel and Luna here, they're ready to go. We'll get to that in a minute here. The biggest thing I got to let all of you who are going to be downloading this episode the next couple days know, this is an exclusive for the Amaazen Outdoors podcast. Upland Outfitters is running this exclusive deal, 30 pairs of these pants for this audience, pre-Black Friday sale. Upland Outfitters, Uplnd Outfitters.com. www.uplnd, no A, Outfitters.com. These are going to be $130. They're cheaper than any other thing he's done. He's a valued partner here at the podcast, and he wanted to give you guys the best deal and get them out earlier. He was going to do just a Black Friday deal with these, and he thought he'd throw it out to our audience. So support Jason, support Upland Outfitters, support the podcast, please. $130 for the Relentless pants. Promo code 130. Before you run out there and just buy these pants, if you have any questions about sizing, contact Upland Outfitters. Give them a call, email them, reach out before you put the order in. When Jason does sales like this, the shipping starts to eat away any kind of profit that he does make on this, and he's giving these at bare bones cost. So we'd rather feel a call from you than ask you to kind of pay for shipping on this thing. So if you're interested in these pants, check them out. Upland Outfitters, UPLND, discount code, promo code, whatever you want to call it, 130. Get these pants before Thanksgiving for $130. It's a kick-ass deal. Not going to last long. Once that is over after Thanksgiving, he's still going to come with the podcast and give the listeners a 20% discount with promo code Amaazen still. That's still live if you want to use that. But you can pick up one of the 30 pairs, exclusive deal for Amaazen Outdoors, Upland Outfitters, UPLND Outfitters.com, promo code 130, promo code 130. That's all I really have for you. I do want to mention that I've got another sponsor in the works, and it's kind of official. I at least can announce it now. We're going to be doing an episode sometime here in the next few weeks. I've been running a competitor's product for a while with the dogs. I started out with these guys. went to something else, and had the opportunity to run one of their new systems, and I'm super impressed. And that's Sport Dog. Gear the way you designed it. You design it. I don't know. Sport Dog's been a cornerstone in this industry, running dogs and training with e-collars. I have the opportunity to run the Tech 2.0 this year in comparison to the Garmin Alpha, and I plan to be doing some side-by-side comparisons and bring a kind of a whole show dedicated to that particular topic. So if you're looking for a GPS system for your dog, I'm hoping to break down some of that for you. So Sport Dog's on board, Amaazen Outdoors. We've got a couple other mentions, obviously River Rat and Chippewa River Rod Company. They'll be in the show notes. I'll include the information for Upland Outfitters and the promo code as well in the show notes. This is only 30 pair pre-Black Friday exclusive deal. So if you're downloading this podcast and hearing it now, jump on this deal. And if you're at all concerned about what size you should order, email Jason, call him, Upland Outfitters, UPLND, discount code 130. Get these pants for $130. It's like $50 off the average price. So they're almost $200 pants. You're getting them for $130. You can't go wrong at this price. So please scoop these up. To all the boys and girls who are out with the Orange Army or were out this morning, I didn't see a damn deer. I said to hell with it to kind of bring this back around so I can bring this show on and get you guys, I can stop rambling here. About 10 o'clock this morning, after I did not see a deer, hear a deer, and I listened to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the neighborhood shoot their gun, I said to hell with it. I've been hunting too hard. My dogs have been on the sideline. I am not sure. It's about 10 o'clock right now on Saturday night, opening day of Wisconsin rifle season, and I've thrown the towel in. I'm going to Kansas, baby. My buddy Drew's down there. We might bust out the podcasting equipment. He was just on the show, but if we got a good enough bird report and get drunk enough on some whiskey, we might start bullshitting. So anyways, today's show, Jason with Upland Outfitters. I recorded this about a week and a half ago. So here it is. Enjoy. Well, I got a good show for everybody today. I've got Jason from Upland Outfitters here online. We round 2 for recording. I tried to make it work at the farm, but man, the noise cancellation and then all the people running around on their bikes early in September, it just was a horrible, horrible one. So I apologize, Jason, but thanks for coming back on. And how you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Living the dream, as most people would say, and complaining about things that probably other people are praying they could do. So life's good. How are things out west? You guys get done with your fire season finally?
Yeah, done with the fire season. I think last time we talked, I was heading out to a fire. I unfortunately got hurt on that fire, so I've been off work for the last month and a half, but heading back to work on Friday, thankfully.
Well, I know that when we had been chatting here over the last couple of weeks, I kind of notified you the recording went kind of crap on us, and we've been trying to find time to get together here, that you were really itching to get out, but we're struggling with the fact that the fire department might not like the fact that you're out hunting while you're on work leave for medical.
Yeah. And even talking to my physical therapist, it probably wasn't the best idea for me anyway. So he knows I'm a hunter, and that was his goal, was to get me back hunting. And I kind of told him the same thing. I was like, I can't really go out hunting if I can't be at work. So I was able to, get a few arrows flung at a couple deer Unfortunately, I missed those. And then I got a shot at a deer too, but I missed that as well. So, and now my deer season's over. So that was like a 1-day, 2-day little deer hunting that I got done.
Nice. So you got to fling one, huh?
I got to fling 2 arrows at 2 different deer. Missed high on both of them. And then one just happened to come in my shooting range, and I grabbed my rifle and thought I'd take a shot. I normally try to only shoot arrows at deer, but it was my last opportunity. So I took it, and I missed.
You're starting to sound like me, man.
Normally, I'm pretty good with my rifle. That's why I try to make things a little more difficult with bow and arrow. But yeah, I thought I hit them, but I don't know where I missed on them.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of misses this year. I ended up hitting a black bear. Oh, I'm trying to think now. It was a couple days into the season, and man, I was out in the woods till 1:00 in the morning that night looking, and I tracked the thing about 400 yards, and it just I never ever really I hate losing an animal and hate not recovering it, and I was using a rifle myself, and I'm kind of perplexed as to what all happened, but I've missed my fair share of freaking grouse this season, and missed a rooster last night. Flung an arrow at I had actually a really cool hunt this past weekend with a good friend of mine from high school, and hopefully we'll get him on the podcast to talk about his success. But he had killed one and got down to look for his arrow, and he was on, I don't know, 10 yards from the tree stand, and all of a sudden a doe comes crashing through, and she was being tailed by a 4-corn, an 8, and then a very large 8-pointer that he said was about 140. I saw him. I couldn't tell you exactly. It all happened really fast, but he was big enough to attract my attention. And so I was across the road. He was on my 80 that I leased to the north. I was on 120 to the south, across the county road. And he's like, "Get over here, man. There's a buck tending a doe like 50 yards in front of me, and he doesn't give a crap that I'm here. He knows he's looking at me while he's banging her." I'm like, okay. I usually this time of year, because it gets so cold out, and we got to walk a fair amount to get to the stands usually. So I kind of take my outer layers and take my big out west backpack. I shove everything in there and kind of head out to the tree stand, and then I get dressed at the base of the tree so I don't overheat. And so I had to pack up all my stuff. I got my big Western backpack on, and I don't know. I just kind of felt like I was elk hunting out west, and the way the terrain worked and the topography, I got to sneak up on these things within about 40 yards, 25 to 40 yards, depending on which deer you're talking about. And they busted, and that doe went to my right, which was east. And then the buck busted around this deadfall to my left, which was on the west. And when he came around that deadfall, he was about 20, 25 yards, and he stopped looking for this doe broadside, a clear shot. And so I draw back, and about the minute I get that to my anchoring point, he starts taking off on a dead bolt towards this doe going east. And he was kind of, I don't know, working at like a 45-ish away from me. But the way the terrain works, he was going to have to kind of hook back around a little bit. So he ended up kind of going north and then shifting around to east. So by the time I had, kind of got on him and I was ready to, I've tried the whole meh thing you do with deer sometimes to get them to stop, sound like a doe, and it never works during the rut. So I've gone to I got to stop them, man. I just, hey, just yell hey at them, and they just slam in their freaking dead tracks. And so I was about to yell at him, and he stops broadside I thought 30 yards, clear shooting lane. I'm full draw. I put my 30-yard pin on his heart, let the arrow fly, and I watched it go 3 inches underneath him. Oh. And at that point, because everything happened so fast, I was on the cell phone, arrow knocked, quiver on my bow, backpack on, and I'm hauling ass, up this draw to get to where these deer are on kind of the other side of the ridge that I was coming up. And I'm on the phone with my buddy, and he's telling me the play-by-play, and I'm trying to sneak in on this thing. And it was, it just happened so fast. I ranged it afterwards, and it was 38 yards. So, son of a gun.
Yeah, that's the hard part about bow hunting. It's like you have to make quick decisions, and you range it, don't range it. It's quite fun. I grew up in the Midwest, like I think I've told you before. And
oh yeah,
there's just something about stalking a deer and trying to get that arrow in them versus sitting in a tree stand. To me, that it's just something different. It gets your heart pumping for sure.
Yeah, and we're where we're at, half of 120 of our acres of our property is not really conducive to kind of ground hunting. It's a really old, mature set of woods, and there just isn't that kind of ground cover that one would hope for to kind of sneak around in the woods. You're kind of popping from oak tree to oak tree. It's doable, but yeah, it's so open that you don't have anything to hide in. And then, once you kind of do get spotted, you're screwed. But our other part of that farm got logged off this past year, and there's all kinds of down timber and log piles and brush piles and stuff. So it's pretty conducive to stalking. It's just a matter of, are the leaves quiet enough today? Is there enough other residual noise in the woods so you can actually kind of move around? Because I've had it up there in mornings where it's just still and it's frosty and it's, you let everything in the county know that you're going in the woods. So there is that balance up here, which is nice. And if you can get an opportunity to hunt for them on the ground, it is really cool. It's something that was the first time I've ever really flung an arrow at a whitetail on the ground. And I sat in a tree then for 2 more days going, why am I in this tree stand? I want to be on the ground.
On the flip side of that, I'm planning to put a tree stand on my property now.
Are you?
Oh, I am, because blacktail out here, you can hunt from a tree stand because they're pretty similar to whitetails, where they're sitting around a certain geographical area and they come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if I would have had a tree stand this year, I would have got one of those because they follow the same patterns, almost daily.
Sure.
So it's hard for me to want to sit in a tree stand. I never had fun with that, back home in Illinois. But hey, if you can get a deer, it's worth it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I struggle with it, man. Every year it gets harder and harder every season to sit in a tree. My buddy that was up, he's a big bird hunter, duck hunter, and deer hunter, but he doesn't have a dog. And I know why he doesn't have a dog, because he loves sitting in that tree too much that there's no way to have a dog if you want to do that. And I'm okay with personally, biting my time and sneaking out a little bit here and there and over the season. And I kind of typically do like a rut camp. So we'll take 5 days, early part of November, and do a big hunt. And I'm okay with that, and I'm considering actually even passing on the gun season here. If I can at least put a little meat on the pole, I will maybe be in Kansas for Bob White quail during the Wisconsin gun hunting this season. That's my hope, at least.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how you said that, how everybody's like hunting styles are different. And I think that's what drew me to, bird hunting, because I can't sit still. I'm not that type of person. I like being out walking around, and just being out in the, out walking around for birds it's just my style of hunting, and I think that's what led me to it so much more than wanting to be deer hunting.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would definitely choose bird hunting over deer hunting. Um, However, there are some things that are kind of playing into that now that I guess I could have controlled, but I still can't necessarily control to a certain degree. You buy a new piece of property, man, and you want to spend a little time out in the woods there, kind of understand it and learn it a little bit more. And so that's been playing a little bit with me this season. Plus, I had the bear tag, and it's been tough. A lot of my local grouse hunts are not. I didn't see a lot of really good brood sizes this year. And again, this is very local, not great habitat kind of grouse numbers. And with kind of some of the things I had going on with the muskie fishing this fall, I really wasn't able to go on a big grouse run trip. So I kind of had to take what I could get and spend a little more time in the tree stand this fall was unfortunately, and fortunately, it was what was served up. So I'm just about ready to put the bow away and give up on the deer hunting here and really get into the heart of our bird hunting season. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, fortunately for me, I got turkey coming up in 3 days, so my bow can stay out for a little bit. Yeah.
You guys got a fall archery season out there?
Yeah, we have fall archery and shotgun. So.
Oh, nice.
Opens in 3 days, and get a fresh turkey for Thanksgiving. That's my plan.
Hey, you can't beat that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either sex for us out here. So I'd love to find a bearded lady out here and take her down, but I'll probably end up just taking what I can get.
So you can shoot hens too?
Yeah, in the fall we can.
Yeah, we can too up here. I actually have a tag myself, but I've never really gone out just to pursue them. What's your strategy on that?
This will be my first time actually trying to pursue them out here. There's so many turkey. Like the California turkey population has just been exploding over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So I haven't really found difficulties in finding turkeys or shooting them. Really, I mean, it's probably one of our easier hunts out here, I think, at the moment. I mean, there's just so many of them.
Sure.
I just find where they're roosting, and once you find where they're roosting, you can kind of sit out there and wait for them. Wait for them to come out of the tree, and it's pretty easy pickings.
Sure. Yeah, we kind of take a similar approach. A lot of guys around here will either get them on the roost, or they'll shoot them while they're out deer hunting, or if you're really into it. And I've never really truly like tagged out early enough with the bow hunting where I felt the weather was good enough to kind of go out and do this. But supposedly what you kind of do is go out and kick the flock.
Yeah, I've heard guys using dogs for that. You send your dog out into the flock and then call your dog back and call him back in, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've done it, I guess, while I was bow hunting without a tag, because I usually always kind of carry a turkey reed with me. And I've had busted them up while I was on my way into the deer stand. I got in the deer stand. I did a couple of these like key run calls and kind of like a young poult trying to yelp. And I'd be amazed but they all came back in. And I'm like, one of these years I'm going to have to try to do this. But I didn't have a tag 2 years ago. And of course, that was my best opportunity I've had in the fall to shoot one. But again, I haven't really pursued them. So yeah, I'll be interested. You have to keep me posted on how the hunt goes.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I think my plan is just, setting up decoys pretty close to the roost where I kind of know that they come down from the tree, and then they follow a similar path as well, I've noticed. So set up a decoy along their path and see what I get. I don't plan on calling them or anything.
Sure. No, that makes sense. I'd get, between roost and food, and you're probably guaranteed some kind of encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, I encounter them quite often. So,
well, that makes it easier too, because if there's a lot of people encountering the turkeys, they tend to get a little less people shy.
Yeah, for sure.
So how other than your fall being interrupted with ankle injury, what do you got coming up other than turkey hunting? You gonna get out doing some chucker hunting here soon?
Actually, tomorrow I'm planning on going quail hunting for the first time, so that'll be nice.
Nice.
Get out. I have a neighbor that really wants to go out with me. He wanted to go today, and I told him I couldn't. So I told him, "Hey, come out with me tomorrow." And he's like, "Oh, I can't tomorrow." And he said, "Bring back enough quail, and I'll cook dinner for both of our families." I was like, "You have more faith in my shooting skills because I ain't shooting that many quail to feed two families."
Can you get a meal out of one bird per person?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, they're not much bigger than Bob White's out there.
No, not at all. Yeah, I'd have to shoot like 15, 20 of them. That'd be. I told him that would be a wonderful day if I did that.
Yeah, if I was able to connect with that 15 birds, man, on one day, man, it'd probably be one of the best days I've had.
I know. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Shoot 3, 4, or 5 would be wonderful,
That's a great day for me.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I got that planned. And then once everything kind of settles back down with work and everything, I definitely plan on getting out in the Chucker Hills here soon. I really want to get down to LA. I got invited to go down to LA. I've never hunted Chucker down in that area. I got invited down there to go with a guy. So I'm hoping to get down there this year as well, which will be kind of a cool experience.
So LA.
Like the LA area. Not
sure.
not in LA, but the mountains out there, they hold some Chucker.
Sure.
I don't think there's a ton down there, but I don't know too much about that area. But he said
I've
he
heard
has some Chucker spots, so
I've heard some good things about quail numbers down that way, east of LA.
Yeah, I mean,
in that southern part of California, I should say.
Yeah, even up here in Northern California, the quail numbers are year to year, they seem good. Like, I don't ever really check the forecast because they're always good. It's kind of weird how, a lot of quail populations, people move out in these areas and they kind of dissipate and disappear. And our California quail it's not done that. They stick around in neighborhoods. They're pretty much all over the place.
Right on. I got to get out there and do. I was planning on doing kind of a western swing this year, and then black bear hit, and I actually I'm driving around a car right now because my 2018 Silverado, thanks Chevy, was looking at its second engine rebuild at 108,000 miles. So I said, piss on it and screw you, buy it back from me. And luckily I got my money out of the deal enough that I'm in pursuit of a old truck. I want something old. These new trucks, man, I'm not going to lie. Like, I brush up against them with my Filson coat, and the metal buttons scratch the freaking paint.
Yeah.
They're like, Pepsi can. And it's just, I'm way too hard on my stuff. And plus I expect a lot more out of it than I guess Chevy's willing to offer these days. I'm looking for that like early 2000, late 90s, like when they still made bumpers that were steel.
Yeah. I bought a newer truck, and this is kind of a funny story. There's this big like dinosaur thing drive through, like these life-size dinosaurs. I don't know if you heard about it or not.
No,
But
I haven't.
they go around from like city to city, and it's kind of like a drive-through, and you go see all these dinosaurs. And I had my brand new truck. This was last year, and I'm taking my kids because my son's like loves dinosaurs, and I'm trying to get him as close to the T-Rex as possible. And he's up out of the sunroof in the truck, and I'm looking at him trying to get close enough to this dinosaur. And I ran into the T-Rex, and I just put a big old gash in my truck.
Oh no.
But
Oh,
you know, I always chalk it up. You know, trucks are meant to get beat up and stuff like that. So
I
it is what
agree.
it is.
I agree. I mean, I my truck looked like a truck, and I had no issues with that. But when I turned the key and it didn't want to work like a truck, that's when I started to have major issues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I could have sunk some money into it and got it back on the road. But at some point, it's like, you already did this once. They did the dealership that did the work, did the warranty work, obviously either didn't do enough or there was a bigger issue. I don't want to know what that issue is. I just want it gone. Give me my money back. and and I told my wife, I'm like, the trucks today, they're not built for a guy like me. I grew up driving an F-150 with 3-speed on the column, like it was an 88 or some shit like that. And I mean, it was a farm truck, it wasn't my car to drive, but I mean, we started driving that thing around the farm at 12 years old, and I can't tell you how many 4 or 5 inch trees that my brother and I ran over with that thing and never got a dent in the bumper. Like, that's the kind of truck I want.
You can find them too. I mean, I've looked at a few of those too, and you know, beat the hell out of them, and they just keep running.
Yep. And for me, I've got kind of a more unique situation, and life's changed a little bit over the course of the last 2 years when I ended up purchasing that truck. I bought it because I was working in, corporate sales, and I had to haul around guys in suits and stuff. But I still wanted a nice car and a truck to get out on the weekends. And when that all kind of ended a year ago, I really didn't need this nice truck. Um, I'm not the type of person that has to have a fancy truck to feel good about himself. Um, However, like, I still was driving it off road and stuff. And then the farm came along, and it's like, we really kind of just need a farm truck. Something I can park up there, leave up there, and take my car back and forth to save on the miles. And then, if I need to go haul some shit or tow the boats, I can do it from there, and hopefully find one with a plow so I can keep my farm open for the winter. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for, man. I got a 2012 Chevy Impala that gets like 24 miles to the gallon on average. So with $3 a gallon gas here in the Midwest, I'll gladly drive that as much as possible. But that's probably not nearly as bad as gas out by you.
What I just filled up my truck yesterday with diesel. I think it was 3, or it was 4. Was it 4? I don't remember. It might have been $4 a gallon. I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
I
expensive.
imagine
I
you
know
guys are
that.
pretty close. Yeah, another reason why you know you don't think about and don't consider and don't want to consider when you buy a truck. You don't buy a truck for gas mileage. So,
No,
yeah,
surprisingly, my I have a diesel Ram, and I average like 20, 21 miles per gallon. So I'm happy with that.
I'd strongly consider looking at those diesel Rams. I know a few people that have them. I really like them, but they're too new, man. I just, I think they still have those Cummins diesels, and that were probably old enough in that truck that I could probably look at some of the early years of those Cummins diesels. But yeah, I want something older, man. And still, the bodies on these things and everything else, all the electronics. It's like, I just want to be able to
Yeah,
fix it. Like,
yeah,
oh
that's the
shit,
thing. The
the
electronics are going to go out before, well, except your case. Electronics mostly go out before. That's why I sold my last truck. I started having electrical issues, and I was like, fix the one. And I told my wife, I said, let's get rid of this thing. Because once you have one electrical issue, they're going to keep popping up. I'm done with it.
Yeah, I actually, last summer, I had the infotainment system go out in that truck. And luckily, after about a week of it being out, it just came back on.
That's exactly kind of what happened to mine. And I'm done with it.
Yep. Yeah, that was sign number 2. And then sign number 3 was when you turn the key over and she starts going, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, I thought it was rubber. And had my mechanic get in there, took the heads off and everything. And he's like, it's a camshaft lobe. I'm like, that's a camshaft lobe? Oh, no, gone. Not doing that. Oh, so what's up with Upland Outfitters? How are things going, Jason, with the fall coming on here, man?
Things are going good. Mine is still trying to get more inventory. I think I've told you a few times, I'm trying to get these women's pants out. Unfortunately, they just sent me an email yesterday saying that it's going to be another 4 to 6 weeks. They should have sent it. They should have. It's 4-week mark from the last time they sent me an email. They're just having problems like every other manufacturer. So
now, is that the textile manufacturer?
That's the textile manufacturer.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So the actual material.
Yeah. Yeah. They're short-staffed, like a lot of people. Getting raw materials for them is difficult. So it's just a challenge. It's almost like a waiting game. Like you put an order in and you wait and wait and wait. Yeah, I have everything down at my production facility down in LA. They're ready to go. I'm just waiting on that material.
It's a little bit of a bummer that, you're probably 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, by the time you get a chance to sell those, it's going to be pretty close to the end of the hunting season for most folks.
Close to, the same thing happened last year for the men's pants. Yeah. But it is what it is, I mean,
you can't change things. You got to play the cards you're dealt.
That's right. Yeah.
Especially when it's outside of your control. So, no, I'm definitely very excited to see those pants come out. My wife found out that I ended up buying another pair, and she goes, "Well, you got 2 now, and I don't have 1. What the hell?"
So, yeah, I've been getting a lot of questions from women, saying, "Hey, when are you coming out with women's pants? And when are you doing this?" I'm like, they're coming. I promise. I promise they're coming. I kind of gave up on giving people updates on time frames because it's so hard right now. So
soon,
but I promise.
Soon is what we know. Well, I will definitely be in the market for a pair once they. So you got 1 sale for sure with those new pants.
Awesome.
How's the men's pants been kind of taking off for you this season?
Yeah, they've been doing pretty good. I wouldn't say like excellent. I'm not really doing a lot of marketing or anything like that. So it's kind of hard for me to justify dumping a lot of money in marketing when I don't, I'm funding this all by myself. It's all coming straight out of my pocket. So I'm kind of doing a slow ramp up and then, go from there. But they've been doing, I think pretty good for no marketing budget and just all Instagram. That's basically everything that I do.
Yep. Yeah, I between Instagram and word of mouth, man, if you're getting growth, the word of mouth marketing for you is probably going to be the best payback over the next year or so. And I will tell you, every time I've gone out hunting with somebody, I went out hunting actually with somebody the other day who had a pair of pike gear pants on. And how much you pay for them? And I was like, oh, really? I mean, they were more expensive than your pants. And I didn't care for them. I did not care for the way they looked. I didn't care for, the material. And they looked more like freaking running pants than they did hunting pants,
Yeah.
And nothing against Pike gear or anything, but he had asked me, kind of what those are. And I kind of told him and went through the stuff, and we kind of looked at them from a side-by-side comparison. And I don't know how that stuff kind of lasts as long as yours does, man. But I think we both came to the conclusion that we thought your pants were built in a more durable fashion.
Nice. That's awesome.
Now, I don't know about, again, the material. I can't speak for anything from Pike. I like the fact that your pants felt heavier, and not from the like a walking weight standpoint or like a cooling standpoint. They just felt more durable in that heavier kind of construction, almost per se. They're light. Right. I mean, I actually had to put long johns on the other day underneath them because they were too light, and I wanted to wear them. But I was impressed with them when I got a chance to actually look at them side by side with a competitor of yours.
Nice.
And then I've been just blown away, man, all summer and fall with these things. I think I told you on the phone the other day that I've gotten into some of the nastiest raspberry briar patches, the kind of stuff that pulls threads on just about anything. And I had some pulled threads, but the way your pants work, it's like it pulls and it doesn't degrade any of the stitching around that in the textile and the raw material. So I got a few pulls around the knees and stuff like that. And I took a lighter and cinched them down, and they look brand new. I mean, there's a little fuzz coming off of them, but that's to be expected. Just like jeans, kind of, the edges get a little bit wore in. But man, oh man, I mean, I went through this one patch, and I thought for sure coming out of it, I had a hole in them, and just not anything.
Yeah.
So really, 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 truly impressed.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the material, the way that they make it, it's so tightly woven that it's able to withstand a lot of that stuff. And like you said, I've done some work out on my property, and that's about the only time I've gotten pulled threads is when I'm working with thin wire, and the wire comes back up and catches the material. And it pulled some threads, like you said, and I did the same thing. I think I told you, that's probably the best way to fix those pulled threads is just singe it off with the lighter, and they look good as new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hell, I was doing some work in August, I think. Had the chainsaw out, and I threw a freaking chain on my chainsaw, and it hit. It didn't hit my leg or anything, but where pants off the shin hit it, just that material that was kind of hanging off my shin. And I thought for sure, and they were brand new. And, like you had graciously gave me a pair to try, and I loved them so much. I doubled down. I put my money where my mouth was, and I bought another pair from you. And it was that other pair I had bought, and I literally wore them like 2 times beforehand. And I'm out there, and I'm like, I throw the chain on the chainsaw, hits the pants, and I'm going, shit. Really? You dumbass. Like, come on now. Why'd you do that? And I look down, nothing. I'm not saying, these are going to protect you from hurting yourself with a chainsaw. It was just one of those instances where you just expected the pants to be completely damaged and tore up, and there was nothing. So they're obviously made super tough, able to withstand impacts and, sharp objects and things like that, initially, if you're online looking at these pants, reading about them, hearing us talk about them from a light and kind of comfortability standpoint, you might get the impression that they're not as durable. And I swear these things are damn near as durable as the toughest pair of jeans you've ever owned.
Yeah, and if any of your listeners have any questions about the material or anything, they can either contact me, or I'd even be willing to throw a little tiny piece of material in the mail for them, and they can touch it, feel it, and do whatever they want to it themselves.
Go rub it up against a tree bark.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be a huge piece or anything like that, but they could at least, pull on it and stuff like that.
Well, I guess it goes out to the listeners, get a hold of me or Jason. And if you're really, truly interested, I can help coordinate that for you, Jason, too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I believe in the material a lot. During the initial production of them, I knew about the material. I think we've talked about this before. And I had contacted them about getting material, and I never got calls back and stuff. So I'm contacting other places, trying to find different materials. And, I went through 3, 4, or 5 materials, and none of them, seemed to work. They weren't up to my standard. And then lo and behold, one day I called them and they said, yeah, we can ship you some material. And from there on, it's been good, because I knew once I got it, it's literally the best material made in the United States. There's just no other way around that. They make this material in the United States, and it's just better. I don't know how else to explain it. It's kind of hard until, like you said, you touch it, you feel it, you wear them. It's hard to explain.
It is hard to explain. I guess maybe a good way to put it to me was, they're just, every time I figured they would fail, they impressed me. Every time I thought I got into a scenario where you dumbass, Brian, you took these $180 pair of pants and you should have wore your piece of crap, $20 pair of jeans that have holes in them. Every time that scenario happened, I was blown away at there's nothing wrong with the pants. And so
that's also not to say that if you're bombing through blackberries or raspberries consistently, or even thicker, like rose hips or something like that you're not going to get poked and stuff like that.
Yep.
They're not on that level of a thick material, so you will get poked every once in a while. Just to be fully transparent here.
I'll be transparent too. The little tiny stingers on stinging nettle leaves. They get through the pants. Not every one, but you go through a patch of stinging nettles, you're going to get it stung a little bit. I mean, and that's where, for me, depending on what I'm doing, I may wear a pair of chaps over them, or I might wear something underneath them, just because I know what I'm getting into. But during the summer months, it's kind of hard to do that. It's just too damn hot. And I was out a few times dog training, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, my legs are freaking itching like I'm MF. And I'm like, oh, I went through those stinging nettles, and I didn't even really notice I got popped, by them. But it was about 20 minutes afterwards. I'm like, my thighs are just itching, and I'm going, oh yeah, okay, this makes sense now. But outside of that, man, and I'm not talking about like I'm walking through stinging nettles with shorts either. It's couple little annoyant itches that I got in one scenario. And I got poked by some raspberries too,
Eventually, I do want to build more of a brush pant where it's a super thick material. But I'm running into the same problems with materials that are made in the United States. There's only a few manufacturers that actually make like a brush material that's not your typical Cordura nylon.
What about doubling up? Just I
thought about that, but I think you'd run into a lot of the same things where you're still getting a few pokes here and there.
Sure.
I found a material that would stop all of that, and it's made in the USA. I've contacted them a couple times, and they don't really want to sell it to me, which is kind of weird because they're a manufacturer. But they I guess they make their own pants, which I've never seen anybody wear. I've never heard of them prior to them telling me about them. So I don't know. I'm just going to keep hammering them. They can keep saying no, but
one day they might say yes.
They'll say yes.
Well, that would be really neat.
So that is in the works for me. All of these things take time, and so I couldn't tell you when or
Sure.
anything like that. But
Well, if you
there's
need it,
enough people out there that have said, "Hey, I want something thicker." You know, what I have made is good for me and probably 90% of the people, 95% of the people on the West Coast that are hunting, because that's just the style of hunting that we're in. But everybody on the East Coast, a lot of the East Coast people, you do want that thicker brush guard because you're going through a lot thicker stuff. So
yeah, it's down. Like I told you initially, I'm not going to throw away my Filson chaps, but at the same time, I have only got them out once this season, and it wasn't really because we were in too thick a cover. It was because it was a damn cold day. So, and it was windy. uh, and I've been thoroughly impressed with them. That I would really, I'd hesitate to say that you need that for early season grouse hunting up here. Really, where I think, for the most part, having a thicker pair of pants and kind of here, at least in the upper Midwest, just for warmth.
right.
That's that. I mean, yours are tough enough, man.
You even touched on it. I designed them specifically a little bit. They are kind of an athletic fit, but I left enough room in the legs where you can throw those long johns on under them, so you can have that extra warmth.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that was a plan of mine all along. A lot of pair of pants now, they're so dang tight around you that you put on something else under them and they don't fit right anymore and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I've been wearing them out in the woods, deer hunting. The green pair worked really well early season. And I'd throw camel. I've got kind of wool camel an outer pants and jacket. But on my way to the stand, I want to be cool and I don't want to get overheated. So having a pair of long johns with a pair of jeans on, man, is not a good recipe. It's really been very nice to wear your pants out in the deer stand, just because I get the warmth on from the long johns. Don't have any damn burrs on my pants when I get to the stand, and then I don't get any burrs in my wool either, which is a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I've been really enjoying them all around. If you look at my go bag for hunting, it's got all my insulated socks, my long johns, and then a couple pairs of pants, a couple shirts, and a hoodie. And the only two pairs of pants I have in there, besides one pair of Dickies jeans, are the Upland Outfitter pants. So I'm truly impressed. You can wearing them a couple times a week. Had them out last night pheasant hunting. So
very cool.
So because I'm so impressed, and I'm the type of person that really wants to put my money where my mouth is. And you've been gracious enough to come on board, kind of be a title sponsor of the podcast. I really want to put a pair of these pants in a listener's hands. And I tried to do some stuff earlier or midsummer. It's just way too many irons in the fire and trying to get a giveaway out. So I think now's the time. It's perfect opportunity with hunting season being here. And I want to buy a pair of these pants and I want to give them away to the listeners. So I'm hoping you're on board with that. I mean, especially if I'm buying them, I don't think you're going to care too much. It's as long as that discount's still available.
It is still available, yeah.
Rock on. So our listeners still can use promo code Amaazen for 20% off too.
Yep.
20. Okay.
Yep. 20% off.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. I know the listeners do too. I've had a couple, one of my buddies bought a pair of pants before he went out on an elk trip, and he really enjoyed them. So thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you got any big trips planned, or just kind of doing excursions?
No, yeah, just excursions, no big trips. Unfortunately, I don't really have time to plan big trips. So most of my stuff is get the kids off to school and head out, for the day before they get back from school. Between me and my wife's work schedule, it's difficult to plan anything large because she works overnight. So
I have the same issue,
yeah,
but I don't have little kids.
yeah, and everything kind of throws a wrench into those. So, but I have enough spots close to me. I mean, I can hit up Nevada and be back in time for the day. For these small day trips that I can get some good hunting in while they're at school.
Rock on. That's nice. We're kind of in that. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm trying to move up to Northwest Wisconsin, and I'm in some nice area for deer hunting. Okay, grouse, some pheasants down the road. But where our house is here in the cities, I went deer hunting yesterday morning, came home, did some stuff on the computer, got a few things done, and then I had the afternoon where my dogs have been very patiently waiting for me to kill a deer. We can go hunting again, and they had reached their max on waiting for Dad to take them hunting. So I had to sneak them out last night, and yeah, it's just kind of unique where I'm in that kind of area where I can do one thing in the morning and do another thing in the afternoon and still be home for dinner.
Yeah, for sure. And I moved last year, and I have a little piece of property now. I'm kind of in a similar situation. If I don't have time to go do something and, deer season's open, I can do those things now. I don't have birds on my property or anything. So unfortunately, I can't do any of that, but turkey and deer for sure. If I don't have time to get out, or I just want to go out for, a couple hours, I can just run out on my property and get a little bit of hunting in, which is nice. My wife appreciates it too, for sure. Not having to be gone all day or something like that.
Yeah, mine still hasn't quite figured all this out, but we're making it work. She hasn't left me yet, so.
But that's the other difficult thing about me is I'm gone all summer usually, so I'm on fires. And when I'm not, when I'm during hunting season, it's like, are you going to be gone again all winter hunting? It's like, well, so it's big. It's always that trying to keep everybody happy and be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah, the old saying I think is 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound sack.
Yeah.
More like 25 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound sack around here. Yeah. My wife's overnight. She works 24-hour shifts. So it's and then similar. I'm not overnight gone all summer long, but I'm a fishing guide. So I'm gone before the sun's up. I'm usually back way past dinner time. And so when I am on a guide trip, I'm just gone all day. And so depending on how that aligns with her schedule, we could end up going a week or week and a half without really spending any quality time together. So yeah, it's been a little bit of an adjustment for us trying to figure out the balance. But that's life, man.
That is, yeah.
If we didn't have time to try to figure out the balance, man, life would be boring.
It would be.
We'd be all sitting around playing video games with our thumbs up our ass or something,
Yeah, I mean, that's the alternative. It's just sitting at home all day. God, that's boring. Being home for being injured, it's been one of the toughest things I've done. Not being able to do anything. Like, I couldn't do anything. It was miserable.
Yeah, you had an ankle injury, man, and I'll tell you, those are some of the worst because they seem to take forever to heal, and any tweak, you almost put yourself right back to where you started. I had a lot of ankle issues in high school, and I'm thanking God I quit playing football because that was like the root of all ankle problems for me. But yeah, I battled enough of them over the years that I don't envy anybody who's sitting on their ass with an ankle issue.
Yeah, luckily, I mean, our fire boots, they're thick enough that it saved me. I dislocated it, but if I didn't have those boots on it, I almost guarantee I would have broke it. It just would have snapped. So I'm lucky in that regard that it could have been worse.
Oh, and you're back on your feet now.
And now I'm back on my feet. Yeah.
And now you can go bird hunting again.
Now I can go bird hunting again.
Awesome, man. Well, I really, I'll kind of get some of the details out here, and we'll be launching this show in the next kind of week, within the next week. So I'll tag in a few posts here, and we'll try to get a pair of pants into a listener's hands. So hopefully they can tell all their buddies, and their buddies buy some pants from you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Awesome, man. I don't have a whole lot other to catch up with you on. Just wanted to kind of touch base, relaunch the season 2 efforts for you, and talk a little bit about giving away a pair of pants. So shoot straight tomorrow.
Oh, I hope so. It's been a while since I've been out, so. And my dogs.
I'm sure the dogs are like chomping at the bit too. So.
Oh, they are. And unfortunately my female's in heat, so she can't go. So it's just going to be me and my male. So we'll see how that goes.
Fun. I bet you she ain't going to be too happy she's left at home.
She is not.
I'll tell you, I don't know. Mine don't sure as hell don't like being left at home. And I got one of them that she will be the biggest pain in your ass if she gets left at home.
Yeah. And they know it's weird how they know when you leave that when you get back, like, it's just, they know, it's kind of funny.
The evil looks that I get when I come back from deer hunting. They smell me. They're like, "You're at the farm. We know it. What the hell?" My older one, she's very, very, very communicative in just the way she does things. And she's the type that will lay down next to you, and if you don't pet her, she will paw you and keep pawing you. And then, if you yell or my voice raises, I couldn't even be yelling at anybody in the house, or just bitching about something or getting passionate about it. Whoop, off to the room she goes. I don't want to listen to you, bitch. But yeah, she knows. And I come back in and I've been out deer hunting. She gives me one sniff and I get these eyes. You left me here. I'm not happy with you. Oh man. Well, it's been good catching up. I don't know if you got anything that you want to close out with the Upland Outfitters agenda.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep trying. I mean, I have more irons in the works for different things. Still trying to pump out new articles of clothing. It's all going to come. It's just me and myself. And so it takes me time to get these things done. And I don't take any of this stuff lightly. So I don't just do something and think about it and put it out right away. I'm sure I could. But I need to know that it's going to be a quality piece of clothing before I, put it out for production and stuff like that. So everything's thought about. And if you have any questions, if you have, contact me, contact Brian. I'm open. I'll answer anybody's call. I'll answer any questions. And yeah, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah. And you've had a few listeners already reach out to you with some questions, and you basically go through anything they want with them. So you're very much hands-on and very much available for people. So take advantage of that is kind of my message.
Yeah, I'm an open book. I'll tell you anything you want to know about anything. And that's what I'm here for. Well,
I definitely want to tell you to not get hurt at the end of the hunting fire season next year, because I'm going to absolutely do my Western swing next year, and we might have to try to get together.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, this is the first time I've gotten hurt, so again.
Well, it worked out okay because I was nowhere near you this fall, but I'm not I'm not going to let another fall go by without getting out west. So
yeah,
I'm
first, it'd be nice to get out. I go home every once in a while, and I'm close enough to you that it'd be nice to get up there and do some hunting as well.
Oh, all you got to do is let me know. I got a cot for sure for you at the barn. Don't have a whole lot of other amenities now, but by the time next fall rolls around, you probably will have a shower and a bath and a bathroom and not a porta potty.
Yeah, hey, I don't need much, so I'm just sitting in the dirt a lot. So
yeah, I'm kind of thinking I'm working with the Taj Mahal right now, and I'm okay with a porta potty because it's better than a bucket. All righty, man. Well, it's been good catching up. I appreciate the time today, and just a reminder to all the listeners to check out Upland Outfitters and support the podcast and support Jason and his business. And you're not going to go wrong with those pair of pants. I absolutely love them. And discount code Amaazen gets you 20% off. So awesome.
Good talking.
Good talking, man. Stay in touch. Send me some pictures when you kill one. I want to see that big bearded lady.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It sounds good, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good.
Gosh, I like that tune. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Amaazen Outdoors podcast. Please give us a like, a review, whatever your preferred podcast player is. If there's a review button on there, take the moment, please, and then put the setting so that you download the next episode. It really helps me out, boosts us here in the community. And I'm still trying to figure out a way to engage with you guys better. Haven't figured that out quite yet. Patreon didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, we'll just say that. But please stay tuned. I'm going to be giving away a Christmas pair of these Upland Outfitter pants, and there'll be a way that you can get into the entry for that drawing. We'll probably be kicking it off next podcast. Join your local conservation effort. If you've been out there killing some birds or deer or pulling some fish out of the water, it really helps. Whatever your fancy is, try to put your money where your mouth is and help out the critters that inhabit the places that you like to visit. We'll see you out there in the woods or in the field. Be safe, shoot straight, send me some pictures, tag me on Instagram. Maybe that's how we'll do the giveaway. Anyways, tag me if I figure it out and you've done something here in the last couple days. I'll include you, no problem. Let's see some of those big buck pictures, some of those coveys of quail. I'm off to Kansas, my friends. Stay tuned for some more. God bless America, man.